In the early hours of August 23, 1988, Mitch Green got wind that Tyson was shopping at a local clothing store close by to where he ran things on the street. Tyson
They're both from New York, if that's the case.
A luxury leather jacket handmade by one of his friends over at Dapper Dan's. As Tyson was chilling in the store with his entourage, Mitch Green burst through the door on his own, high on angel dust, demanding Tyson either give him a rematch or empty his pockets right there on the spot. Tyson, of course.
This nigga tried to rob Mike Tyson. He didn't have no gun or nothing. This nigga is crazy. And you ain't been boxing for a while. You tried to rob Mike Tyson. Something wrong with this nigga. He definitely probably was off angel dust. Nah, think about it. You doing that and you ain't been boxing for a while. This nigga definitely off angel dust. What's poppin', YouTube? We back with another reaction video, you dig. Today we reacting to when a gang leader confronts Mike Tyson. We ain't gonna waste no more time because this video sound like it's finna be a banger. Yeah, but we ain't gonna waste no more time. We're gonna get right into it. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells on. Let's get right to it.
This gonna be a fight. Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Welcome back to the Big Fight Recap here on BLTV Classic.
He pulled his glasses off. Did you see his eye? His eye was just hanging out his head.
On today's video, we revisit the infamous two-fight saga between Mike Tyson and Mitch Blood Green.
He fought that nigga
genuine
twice.
Beef that 10 rounds of boxing couldn't squash, as the two would face off one more time on the street, this time in a much shorter affair with a decisive victor. Let's get right to it.
Closing with a flurry. The bell is going to sound.
After Tyson's 10-round decision to James Quick Tillis in 1986, the invincibility aura from Kid Dynamite took a slight knock as the two heavyweights battled out a much closer fight than the boxing fans and bookmakers expected.
How disappointed are you that the knockout string is over?
Not at all. If anything, I feel relieved, and I'm confident if I wanted to, I could have knocked them out.
It was Tyson's first time going the distance, as he had finished his previous 19 opponents all inside the opening 2 or 3 rounds.
Oh, okay.
That gave some of the other heavyweight contenders an incentive to catch this teenage dynamo early, halt the hype train, and earn the highest possible payday outside of a championship fight.
Tyson say, gonna give me a fight, I want Mike Tyson. Point blank. Michelle Tyson, he's a homo, I'm gonna knock him out.
Mitch Blood
Damn, this nigga called that nigga homo.
Green was one of the first fighters to utilize the new age of digital camcorders to get his message out there to boxing fans.
Now I'm gonna show you something. Feast your eyes on a real heavyweight.
There was no social media in those days, but local news stations and televised sports networks such as HBO would air the clips during a broadcast to gauge the fans' reaction.
Power. I ain't no joke. My name is Blood Green, and you heard my fight. Watch my smoke.
It's probably due to audio
This nigga is
compression
hurt.
over time, but I can honestly say I have difficulty understanding what Mitch Green is saying. Two clear things were the muscle flexing and homophobic slurs, and bizarrely enough, as far as my research suggests, this was enough to land him a shot at the hottest prospect in world boxing.
And then he knocked that nigga out. Oh, he from the D?
Growing up on the tough streets of Detroit, Mitch Green was a prominent player in 1970s New York gang warfare. By the age of 17, he had witnessed his father lose his life in a bizarre Western-style quick-draw shootout, not long before being shot twice himself, fortunately escaping with non-fatal injuries. Green tried to escape gang life by joining the UBA boxing gym in New York, but by this time his ties to the street were too pronounced, as he was now hailed the king of New York street gangs by the NYPD for his role as gang leader in the deadly Bloods crew. Things slowly started to change for Mitch as
He probably wasn't no gang leader. They just be trying to take niggas down. Gonna label a boxer a gang leader. Come on, bro. That's that bullshit.
his reputation as a gang leader was exceeded by that of a talented amateur boxer, the muscular 6'5"
And this
big man that was racking up
And this white nigga just gonna agree with it. The gang leader. Shut your punk ass up.
copious tournament success, including several New York Golden Gloves.
From the Bronx, New York, undefeated in 5 professional bouts with 1 draw.
Green took to the professional
This nigga's
ranks
a gang leader.
and quickly started racking up wins over journeyman and fringe contenders such as Jumbo Cummings. Champion in waiting Trevor Berbick became the first man to beat Green in 1985, where Mitch made a good account of himself, only losing by majority decision. Both Tyson and Green were on the fringe of a world title shot, so regardless of the antics, the two were on a likely collision course. The trash talk from Green just helped build more interest in the fight, which in turn certainly struck a chord with Tyson, who openly admitted to hating that ugly mother effer.
And Mike Tyson, traditionally, no robe, no socks. He says it makes him feel like a warrior, makes him feel like a gladiator.
Tyson met Green for the first time in May 1986 at Madison Square Garden. It was Tyson's first match at a prestigious boxing venue and also the first to be covered by a large television network. Yet, the occasion didn't change the traditional no robe, no socks attire. He was all business and had a personal vendetta to settle with the now not-so-confident-looking Mitch Blood Green.
And was so much a factor in the last fight that we showed you here on HBO.
Is it early knockout?
He just was a little bit lazy, especially in the later rounds. So we'll see what he does about that against Mitch Green.
Always aggressive, right in front of his man. Now we see some head movement.
He kind of quick.
There's the left hook I was talking about.
He did draw a warning from Luis Rivera. Green's in trouble.
Green is in trouble.
Good left hand by Tyson.
Everyone has a plan until they get their mouthguard punched out of the ring in the
Oh,
first round.
he knocked his
While
mouthpiece
Green had all
out?
the physical advantages. Tyson's supreme boxing skills and speed negated the
Yeah,
gap. in
Tyson
size
all
and
over
weight,
that nigga
backing
right
up
now.
Green from the opening bell, slipping and countering, forcing the much bigger man into survival mode from the word go.
Big right hand against Tillis. And
Oh, he tagging that nigga. Oh, he definitely knocked his
Tyson
mouthpiece
punched out
out.
Green's mouthguard again in the third.
Oh, he did it
where Ashley
twice?
started mocking his opponent for having a wide gulping mouth, dropping him across the ring, landing fierce single power punches.
But I never seen the nigga mouthpiece get knocked out, let alone once, let alone twice. That is funny. Oh,
Another big left hook.
Hey, Tyson, there, good uppercut. He has to take his
Tyson look like he toying with that nigga.
Another couple body shots. Well, he's smiling. Tyson is smiling, but see, Green has those fast hands.
The fight became so routine by the closing stages, the crowd knew they were witnessing a foregone conclusion. Tyson himself appeared to have his mind elsewhere as he bizarrely kissed his trainer, Kevin Rooney, while he was trying to deliver him intricate strategies and details regarding the fight.
Oh, he trolling that nigga.
Well, Kevin Rooney is in
Since he
there
called him gay.
jabbering away 100 miles a minute. Mike Tyson leaned over and just kissed him.
Tyson closed the show, trying to score the knockout, but Green's disinclination to engage allowed him to grab and clinch his way to safety, resulting in him losing 9 out of 10 of the rounds on every different
God damn, nigga lost 9 out of 10. Nigga only won 1 round talking all that shit.
Deep inside, that I was gonna win this fight so easy because of his style. He's a gang tough opponent, and he took some fairly decent shots. But as you know, I won comfortably, and I didn't try for the knockout, and I used a great deal of discipline in there, not knocking him out.
Tyson claimed he carried Green the 10-round distance on purpose to punish him for as long as possible, and whether it was true or not, Green's personal pride was hurt, and he was willing to do whatever it took to restore a sliver of respect amongst his peers. Green retired from boxing
Shouldn't
after
have
the
been talking
Tyson
all that
fight and
shit.
returned to the street to earn a living from selling drugs. He always planned to one day
No,
get
he
Tyson back
didn't.
in the ring, but as his years of inactivity ensued, Tyson progressed to one of the most dominant heavyweight champions of all time, undefeated and undisputed. The days of fighting lingering contenders such as Mitch Green were over. It wasn't
Yeah,
until a
returning to
couple
those
of
streets
years
to be no
after their
gang
fight, the two
member.
would meet again, this time in Green's element, the street. In the early hours of August 23, 1988, Mitch Green got wind that Tyson was shopping at a local clothing store close by to where he ran things on the street. Tyson
They're
had
both
traveled
from
a
New
fair
York,
distance
if
to
that's
pick
the
up a
case.
luxury leather jacket handmade by one of his friends over at Dapper Dan's. As Tyson was chilling in the store with his entourage, Mitch Green burst through the door on his own, high on angel dust, demanding Tyson either give him a rematch or empty his pockets right there on the spot. Tyson, of course,
This nigga tried to rob Mike Tyson. He didn't have no gun or nothing. This nigga is crazy. And you ain't been boxing for a while. You tried to rob Mike Tyson. Something wrong with this nigga. He definitely probably was off angel dust. Nah, think about it. You doing that and you ain't been boxing for a while. The nigga definitely off angel dust.
no stranger to altercations on the street, dragged Mitch Green outside and pummeled him to the ground multiple times. Spectators said that the fight was short, violent, and very one-sided. In fact, it was no longer than 15 to 20 seconds, but that's more than long enough for the heavyweight champion to inflict severe damage. There is no footage
Fuck that
of the
nigga
fight,
face
regardless
up.
of the clickbait you see on YouTube, but there were many accounts of what happened that all aligned. all except Green's account, where he claimed Tyson sucker punched him and ran.
Who threw the first punch here?
He did. He sucker punched me because he's with his friends, you know, and
But I don't know if that's true, but if you came up in there on him, trying to run up on him, talking about empty your pockets, how's that a sucker punch, nigga? You trying to rob me, nigga? I'm about to knock your ass out, nigga. And you ain't got no gun? Like, come on, bro. That's not a sucker punch, nigga. You better be ready. Nigga, you thought he was just going to go out?
when he hit me, like I said, I couldn't get a chance to really get to him like I was because everybody was like pulling me, you know, holding me, like so he could get away from me, so he could get away, and he ran from me.
Green was certain the Tyson scuffle, which became mainstream news around the world, would add enough public intrigue to get his rival back in the ring. But Mitch had already burnt his bridges among the promoters in the sport, with his violent threats to Don King in the past already shadow banning him from ever earning any serious money in the ring again. After Green's failed attempts to get the rematch with Tyson, he filed a civil lawsuit for $20 million due to the injuries he suffered during their fight.
Oh,
the
wow.
gang leader came away with one small W to coincide with a long list of L's, winning the case and being awarded $45,000, close to what his purse was during their professional fight in 1986.
Yeah, I remember seeing Mitch Green's eye after that. It was like, broke his socket. Broke the eye socket.
Holy shit.
He broke his eye socket.
He hit that nigga hard.
Eye socket. You gotta hit really hard to do some like that, right?
Green returned to the ring 7 years later, but at that point he was a shell of his former self and was beaten by journeymen with losing records until he hung him up for good in 2005. As of 2022, Green is still a large-as-life character, but now employs his energy into his love of Christianity. He still has a gripe with Tyson, but I think it's fair to say the two have now moved on, and whenever the topic is...
When you that old, I don't know, I think this nigga saying anything, but if you that old and you got a gripe, nigga, you old nigga carrying a cane, nigga, sit your old ass down. Nigga, go sit your old ass down and watch a Western, nigga.
Brought up today, they both make light of their infamous 30-year feud.
That didn't work. The boy scared to death. Let's do at the street fight. The boy scared to death.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't
How's he scared to death?
For the ring, for the street. Thinking the man would do something about it. He wouldn't do nothing. Oh, man, he freaked me out.
Did you know that actually Tyson and Sal are good friends and he comes to the show? He knew, look what's there. Yeah, it's Mike Tyson. You see that?
That's Mike Tyson? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That old nigga need to go sit his old ass down. But, hey, that's the end of the video. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. We out. Peace.